you think?
It's good. It's very good.
The stronger brew is 50% stronger than the extra brew. I've only found it at Fred Meyer.
That's the only place?
That's the only place I've seen it.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen it around either, but it's kind of got that burn at the end.
Yeah.
So you'd be in trouble if you just swilled it down.
Welcome. Hey, everybody. It's Seattle Sucks. Like last time, I think we totally forgot to introduce the show.
We did.
Because it's really Alex's job. And once again, Alex is not here. We're very sorry about that. Mm-hmm. This is Seattle Sucks. We're back for the most important election of our lives.
I think you forgot some swear words for...
Oh, right.
But yes.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's
the
most
fucking
important
fucking
elect fucking shun. Yeah. If we're not completely stupid, it will come out some days before the election. Presumably, some of the people listening will have or will be planning to cast a ballot. Yeah. So we're gonna spend the next hour telling you all about who we think you... No, not really. Because honestly, who gives a shit? Maybe that's a little strong, but...
Well, you just vote down ballot, right? Like that. I mean...
Yeah.
That's how I've always voted.
Right. Yeah, it's like... I look for the obscure bits, you know. I like to just keep it esoteric.
Sure.
I leave the big stuff up to other people.
Well, isn't that what representative democracy is all about?
Yeah, this is a republic, people say. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so what we want to do today is talk about not what we think about who should vote for, but what the editorial board of that very influential Seattle newspaper, that real, just shitty neoliberal rag.
Just god-awful.
That this just pathetic slavish devotion to the Democratic Party. We're talking about The Stranger. Did we fool you? It's not the Seattle Times. We're going to read The Stranger Election Control Board endorsements for this very stupid election that's coming up.
So please pray for us.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, yeah, our world is bad. This city sucks. We might have mentioned that.
God. Yeah, it's like every day is worse than the one before it.
But The Stranger also sucks, and they're really in peak form here, displaying their total lack of politics, of vision, of understanding of what's actually going on around us.
Yeah.
And just the fucking myopic obsession with like just next week.
Yeah.
Right. And nothing before or after that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, you were saying, I don't want to jump the gun, but you were saying before the show, like, to call this midterm election the most important election of our lifetimes is to have forgotten.
Right. Well, that line is up. That's not just The Stranger. We're going to see that they repeat it here, but that line is all over sort of the liberal media. Okay, like
that's true. Yeah,
that's the headline at Mother Jones. I noticed. You're seeing that everywhere. Yeah. Like, that's like a catchphrase being used. Of course, we've heard that before, which is the funny part. And I think but that's not the only funny part, because I think even in this piece here, the SECB, as they like to call themselves, and that was funny years ago. I think acknowledges that there's a little, irony to the fact that that liberal America has said that for the last many, many elections. Probably actually every election in American history, lots of people have said that. But sometimes, and even in our voting lifetime, like you could there's a way you could plausibly make that case, okay?
Yeah.
It should be extremely fucking obvious to everyone that this is most definitely not the most important election of our... That was the last one!
Yeah.
The last fucking election was the important one, you dumb fucks! That's when we lost it all.
Yeah, right.
Trump is already president, you idiots!
Yeah.
It's you already fucked it up.
Yeah, like, right. The midterms aren't really going to help that much.
It doesn't matter, like, you already let that in the door. Like, that, the Democrats already choked on the most important election of our lifetimes.
Right.
Okay? And even if whatever way this one goes, even if Donald Trump is re-elected in 2 years from now, which I'm just assuming he will be, that, once again, will not be more important than the 2016 election.
Yeah.
That is not... Right. That's the important election, you fucking idiots. And the just inability to recognize that.
Yeah,
to recognize
to come
the scale
to terms
of
with
the... And just to fall back into the same shit that has gotten the Democrats and America where it is today, which is just like, all we gotta do is just... In this election right here, we just got to take control of the House or whatever.
Yeah.
Or keep control or what, that's the path. That is how we get America back on track.
Yeah,
There's nothing underlying that. There's no foundation under that. There's no planning beyond that. There's no acknowledgement of past failures. It's just that. It's just next week. You got to vote next week. That's the plan.
Yeah, that is especially fair, I think, in this election where it feels like there's just a complete vacuum of ideas from the Democrats. Like you'd hear a pin drop, basically. It's just contra Trump, that's it.
That's it. And it's just we've really like jumped the shark here from hyperbole, which is like a standard of American elections.
Yeah.
Because again, we've always said this.
Yeah.
To total, like, hysterical blindness. Like...
Yeah.
And insanity. Like, it's demonstrably untrue that this is the most important election.
Yeah.
To think that you can because what you're trying to say, and maybe it's a pitch, maybe I'm being too hard, maybe there's a pitch being made here to people who think, well, we already... Maybe, okay, just to give them the benefit of the doubt. Uh-huh. Maybe it's a pitch to people who, like me, think the last election was the most important. We've fucked it all up. It's hopeless. Maybe it's a hopeful pitch saying we can redeem the last election with this one. And that's why this is the most important. Well, you can't, so fuck off.
Yeah,
it's just not true. If that's the pitch, I guess I get that in some way. But it's still wrong. You're still wrong about that, and it's still not the strategy. Because that's all these people can think about. Is like we just gotta do the next election. All right. So should we get into this shit?
Yeah, might as well.
I'm gonna read you a little bedtime story before your imminent suicide. The final bedtime.
The big sleep.
That's election November 7th. I'm opting out. Death cult November 7th.
I'm choosing dignity.
Yeah. I'm going to. I'm printing stickers that say I ended it all. They're red, white, and blue, but they didn't.
Well, the Republicans would say that you're still going to vote anyway, Greg, even in death.
Wait, would they? What?
Because they claim that Democrats use.
Oh.
That old trope.
Yeah.
So you can't escape it. Even in death is what I'm saying. You'll still have to vote. In someone's mind. In the Caesar whatever's mind, you'll still have to vote.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, if I can contribute in death to a sad sort of democratic, like, barely majority, then we'll have done my part. All right. The Stranger Election Control Board endorsements. We've already really covered the first part because they start by saying...
Do you want to describe that image, though?
Oh, fuck.
Before
I don't know. I feel like we have to justify it first.
Okay.
Like, we'll get back to this, Bill, because, all right. Before we start shitting on the absurd cartoon,
we should.
Childish, like, idiotic... nationalist. Okay, let's come back to that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, it begins. This is the most consequential fucking election, midterm or otherwise, in our fucking lifetimes. And anyone who doesn't show up for it can go to fucking hell. Okay, you know how we feel about that? That's absolutely fucking stupid. Yeah, the threat of eternal hellfire hasn't kept a single dick, joint, or fuck out of our mouths. That's why Stranger Election Control Board ordinarily prefers swear words and dick jokes to fire and brimstone, but Jesus fucking Christ in a pussy hat, this is no ordinary time.
Oh, the lulz. I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah, the delicious snark I'm lapping up here.
It's so great. I'm rolling on the floor.
This is like poster mindset right here. Okay. Roe and Obergefell, whatever it is that is, are on the chopping block. Hundreds of kids are still separated from their families. I mean, this is nitpicky, but I mean, that's the point here, is to pick apart the myopic, stupid politics that this paper has.
Yeah.
It's like that's where we are now. Because of the Democratic Party, the only things that were keeping abortions like nominally legal in every state, kind of, and the right to marry are these Supreme Court decisions that are sort of an undemocratic and politically dubious way to make social change in the first place.
Right.
Hey, in a lot of ways they're good because of what they did for the period they did, but because of the problems, they're vulnerable. They were always vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So now, even in 8 years under Obama, like, we couldn't stack the court with like liberals, like that, like bare minimum, like this is the shit that matters. If all the actually pass laws,
right.
But now the fate of these very important issues that affect a lot of people are up to these conservative ghouls, these like
the Federalist
tradcath like psychopaths on the Supreme Court, and it's like, well, that it's because, I mean, we don't need to get into it, but it's because the Democratic Party sucks,
right?
That they have done virtually nothing to actually stand up for those things. It's a rabbit hole I'm not going to go down, but like, they also want to claim credit for those things.
Absolutely, yeah.
For same-sex marriage, equality, and when it's like, really, they didn't do those things. That was the Supreme Court and activists,
right?
Particularly in the gay marriage side, grassroots activists working for decades for gay rights that Democrats came along on extremely slowly.
Oh yeah,
only when public opinion was there, and then still that's just in their public postures. But in terms of passing legislation, didn't, and waited for the Supreme Court to
make it happen.
Catch up because a public opinion was very much there.
Right.
But public opinion doesn't actually matter in America because we aren't a fucking democracy. So now our country is ruled by the 30% of America who are like shit-eating psychopaths who would like to murder everyone who's not white and straight. So, good job. Okay, so that was a massive tangent here, but that's kind of the point. Those are on the chopping block. Hundreds of kids are still separated from their families. Puerto Rico is still reeling. The Muslim travel ban is still in effect. Donald fucking Trump is still pushing a transgender ban in the military. Nazis are still marching in the fucking streets. The Russians are still coming after our election infrastructure.
Oh, that's cute.
And is it just us, or are we about to bomb Iran? Is North Korea about to bomb us? We don't know, and neither does the idiot in the Oval Office. Oh, sick burn.
That's a dunk.
Listen, like all these things, this is a list of bad things about the Trump administration. But what's stupid is what their prescription is for this. And that's what we're going to get into now. Here's how to make it stop. Democrats take back the U.S. House in November and maybe pretty please, baby Jesus. The Senate, too. That's the answer. With both houses, we've got control of the legislative agenda.
With all that vision we have.
We've got control. Like, wait. They have control of the agenda of the legislature.
Yeah.
A legislative agenda doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, which we learned that.
I mean, Donald Trump's still going to be the president.
Yeah.
We have this idiotic form of government that involves all these like cute checks and balances that just mean that that doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to do anything except stop him from passing laws. Most of the shit they've done, like that list up there,
hasn't been laws.
Has mostly nothing to do with legislation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's again just showing where what are they even thinking? I mean, what?
I don't know, but it comes down to this. That's all they can think about. The only game in town is electoral politics. The only options in electoral politics are this binary setup with the two-party stranglehold on power.
Yeah.
And they can't think outside that box. And I get that right now, election coming up, yes, am I going to vote Democratic down the... Of course I fucking am.
You don't really have much of a choice.
That's not the point. The point is, if this is all you feed people every 2 years, this is the only ideology, is just get Democrats in office.
Yeah.
That's why you can't get anybody good in office, okay? Because there is nothing else underneath that. Yeah. There's nothing else the rest of the year except the next election's coming up in 18 months, and that's when we'll win. Yeah. And we're working toward that now, or just all the time. Just getting to this mythical place of democratic control. But we had that.
Right, yeah. And we
pretty recently. And it, a lot of people will disagree, but those people are stupid. The period after which Barack Obama was elected with a massive fucking landslide, incredible mandate, and control of both houses, got almost nothing done.
Right.
It was a giant failure. We don't need to go into all that, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, we don't need to, but I think we should touch on the fact that it's centrism. So we get Democrats in office, even if we did take back the legislative branch, which I really don't think we will. Most articles I've seen don't think that the Senate is going to flip anyway.
No.
But if we did, or maybe I should say if they did, then they are still going to play this game of, "Sir, have you no decency, sir, Mr. Mitch McConnell, sir?" And
he clearly doesn't, so why are you asking?
Exactly. And nothing will get done, and if it does get done, it's just going to be pulled to the right, and it's going to be not good.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is look at what the Democrats say, what these people running for office say, and it comes back to all the time, like, they're still obsessed with partisanship, and how bad it is, despite the fact that there is a party controlling the entire government that is, like, manifestly evil.
Well, right, and as you said, and this is sort of aping Chapo a little bit, like, does not represent a majority of the United States. It represents something like 30% of the United States, which is insane, like truly insane.
Yeah, and that is... There's no other way to react to that than with partisanship. Yeah. Though there are enemies.
Yeah, and that's okay.
But they want to make... But this is what the Obama administration was about, and why I have no faith that this could matter, is that they still want to... Even now, the Democrats, people like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi want to be like reasonable and open to cooperating with good Republicans who are against Trump. And it's like, first of all, they all vote with Trump. They're all fucking monsters.
There's no such thing as a good Republican.
Yeah, there really genuinely isn't. They are manifestly evil people. Like, they are the fucking enemy.
They are a disease.
Yes, yeah, as my old boss used to say. Shout out, Dan. Yeah, man. Like, that is who put Donald Trump in the way. That is who elected Donald Trump, okay? It's not this...
Yeah.
Republicans, the same exact people.
Yeah.
Pretty much literally exactly the same people to a man that voted for Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Voted for Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Literally exactly the exact same Americans in the same numbers. Every one of them came out and voted. Same people.
Yeah.
Just less Democratic voters turned up.
Right.
That's all that happened. Republicans showed up and voted again.
Yeah.
And the same people who you think of as your reasonable conservatives who voted for a monster like Mitt Romney, also actually enthusiastically voted for Trump.
Right.
So, fuck, man. Okay, so they're all excited about this prospect of
of taking the legislative agenda back.
Yeah,
and this is where things get beautiful.
Yeah. But even if the Dems only take the House, they're gonna have something else too.
Ooh, what are they gonna have?
Something pretty fucking useful.
Ooh, what could it be?
Subpoena power.
Wait, are you joking? You're joking, right?
We want to see Trump's tax returns? I'm for amusement, I guess. Coming right up, motherfuckers. Why do you think that? Just stop right there for a second. The subpoena power. Why would you think that? Why,
man?
If what you want to see is Trump's tax returns, what about the subpoena power of controlling committees in the House?
Yeah.
And being able to do congressional investigations makes you think that they're going to give up Trump's tax returns. How fucking stupid! What fucking stupid devotion to the process? Because these people think that our Constitution, they think it was really well written if you just like interpret it the right way, and they think the government it's just gotten in the hands of some bad people. The system just was allowed to function the way it was meant to, with the rule of law.
Yeah.
Everything would work out.
Yeah.
They don't get that. Again, we already crossed that in a big way. This isn't the most important election, you fucking idiots.
Right.
Because we have proved, we put this asshole in there, and they don't give a shit, these people.
Yeah.
What... The House can't send the FBI to arrest the president and his lawyers if they don't show up. They're not going to send the Capitol Police to the White House, okay? They don't give a fuck. What would possibly make you think that the Trump administration would give a flying fuck about a subpoena of the tax returns? Look at Jesus. Look at some of the exact things listed in this article. Why would that matter at all? It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, and again, why do you care? What do you think that's gonna do?
I guess what they think is they're gonna reveal that Trump is a liar, a sleazy businessman, not as rich as he says, probably a criminal. Doesn't pay his fair share in taxes.
Well, he told us as much.
And then, this is the best part.
Yeah.
They think that the 30% of dying, syphilitic boomers in their gated fucking communities with
Fox News blaring.
They think they're going to care. They think that you're going to be able to wave that piece of paper in the air and go, "This says Trump's bad."
Yeah.
And then everyone will snap out of it. They'll just believe you and what you're saying because you have in greater detail some information you already know about the president.
Yeah.
And then that again, these people just have no idea how politics works.
No, and it should be so obvious by now, that these people are nihilists. They do not believe in anything except for enrichment, and they will do whatever they can to control and maintain power.
And the people who vote for them
don't understand
are committed because they've been sold on conservative values, on the decades of conservative propaganda. They've been sold. You can't just take some little fact, some little tidbit of information and go, see, this proves your entire worldview is horseshit. Everyone you like and believe in is a fucking lie. No, you have to go toe-to-toe here. You have to undo this worldview. You have to present a different worldview,
a better worldview.
Not just a different set of facts. Because this is what they're obsessed with: truth and facts and the power of the press. Exactly. They don't understand that's a wall you can't get through. The facts cannot pass through a wall of ideology. Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're right. Jesus, the shit the conservative movement has been founded itself on has been 100% horseshit from the beginning. Okay? So, what do you... So, that shit doesn't matter. You can't... That's not going to help you.
Well, right. And at least not anymore. Because, again, to harp a little bit on Chop, I think Matt Christman has said, there was a time in this country when there was more control of the media. But with the internet, there is your own worldview somewhere that will always validate whatever.
Right, you can go back. There'll always be a counter, many counters to whatever you glean and whatever propaganda you can put out with Trump's tax returns. Whatever, David Korn writes with total indignation. There's going to be, first of all, that won't be read by these people, these fucking monsters. And they will instead, the only thing they will hear about it, they will not hear the primary text, if you will, of the tax returns, nor the secondary text of David Korn's indignant, string of pieces from Mother Jones. But they will instead only consume a tertiary level of discourse that is the right-wing response to it, which will discredit everything about it, present its own logic and its own things. Why? Because they trust those sources, because they conform to their worldview.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, this has been a sort of a deep tangent, but it's reminding me of, what is it, Manichaean? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
This is just so emblematic of that, thinking of there being a good and a bad, and if this language feels almost Marvel movie-esque, like when we get the house back, or take the house back, take the Senate back.
Right, then, it's a simple story.
Yeah, then everything's going to go our way, because we, like you said, we fight for process, we fight for America. And it's just going to be good. And those evildoers will see.
Yeah, all we have to do is get a hold of the reins of the process. But that completely leaves out actual human fucking beings. Actual Americans.
Right.
With a worldview.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that in all of that,
Bernie Sanders, pretty much. That's about it. But there's more, so there's even more. There's even more of what the subpoena power will bring to us.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Okay, Trump's tax returns coming right up, motherfucker. Want to investigate James Comey's firing and the Trump family profiting on their public offices?
Not really, but
first of all, I think we know everything there is to know about Comey's firing, right? He wrote it in a little journal. He's already testified.
Yeah, he wrote a whole book about it too.
Yeah, dude. What else? But you're gonna find some kind of smoking gun that somehow proves obstruction of justice. So what? So the fuck again? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna be done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the FBI is not gonna kick into action.
Yeah.
And prosecute. Which they probably think that that's all they're waiting for. They're just waiting for
that one piece is gonna blow it wide open.
and they're waiting for the House, the political arm, to do something that they have to act on or something, and then because they believe in the rule of law and the process. These are cops we're talking about, okay? The FBI are fucking cops, all right? They don't give a shit. They're fucking fascists, so every one of them. And they don't care. Like the president controls the executive branch of government, okay? But more to the point, again, it's the same dynamic. Like, they think that this piece of information is going to change something. I mean, you can't. That's not... A little fact is not an ideology.
Right.
And this isn't fucking Watergate.
They don't have one. I mean, they don't have one. They
can't imagine regular human Americans having one because they don't believe they do. Well, they don't believe they do anyway. They have something they believe in. They
do. Their ideology is
meritocracy, technocracy,
bipartisanship.
Yeah, and
pragmatism.
Comedy, comedy and pragmatism. Yeah. And that's it. That's a pretty limp dick ideology. It's like the most watered down view of the world you could possibly have.
Well, yeah, it's the managerial view, and that's what we talked about this with Day. It's like you only believe that if your life is good.
Yeah. If your life is good, and it's probably good because you're in the management class. Yeah. Oh fuck. Okay. Want to investigate Trump family profiting from their public offices. Okay, again, we know this stuff. It's all done in the open. Done and done, they say. Want to finally get to the bottom of Russia's attacks on our democracy and impeach a rapey Supreme Court justice or two? Okay, and the second one, yes, I would like to impeach several Supreme Court justices. That'd be great. Not going to happen.
No. Can you imagine how beautiful that would actually be?
Oh my god, it would fucking...
The tears and the screaming from Kavanaugh.
Oh my god. Oh, that would be great. Okay, I'll admit right now I don't know the process for impeaching the constitutional process for impeaching a Supreme Court justice. If they're saying... Well, I'm sure you can, quote, impeach them in the House. That's just a up or down vote.
Right.
But that doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah, like we saw with Clinton.
Right. Yeah. Bill Clinton, the president, was impeached. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's just a procedural thing. Again, that's just
it's a wrist slap, kind of.
Well,
it's for posterity.
Well, that's the effect, but it's a procedure. It's just a procedural step, and that's all they care about, right? They want it on the record, okay? Yeah. But I don't know, man. Maybe again, I don't want to look it up because I don't care. Yeah. Because then maybe just the legislature can get rid of a Supreme Court justice. I doubt that very much. That doesn't sound right. But let's I'm not gonna look it up. Let's say they could.
Yeah.
They fucking wouldn't. They're Democrats.
They would never. They wouldn't even dream it.
They're too fucking feckless and compromising. They could not stand up to the totally hypocritical, they could not look Mitch McConnell in the eye and say that and go, we're going to do this because we have the votes. No. They couldn't do it. They're too fucking stupid, bloodless, and pathetic.
And as you said, so bought in to the process.
Right. They'll sit there and go, you know what? Well, technically, we have the power to right these wrongs, to get rid of these people, but you know what? The established process over the 200-some years of our country is to just let them die several decades from now, and then if people who aren't vampiric monsters are in power, maybe they'll appoint a better justice.
Yeah, maybe
that's the Chuck Schumer view. I think
absolutely.
Also, okay, again, entertaining this theory that I don't care about looking up, that the legislature could eject a Supreme Court justice. That, again, we've already elected the fucking president. That was the last election. So it would fall to him, again, to nominate
to choose
someone
else.
So it's like...
Yeah. He'd pick someone crazier.
Yeah, because he rules, and he's good at this. Because he would see, like, that is exactly the thing you should do, is not compromise, but fucking go, like...
harder.
Go harder. Like...
Yeah.
Like, he would actually... He'd pardon... If you somehow got rid of Kavanaugh, Trump would, just to shove it in your face, pardon and then... nominate a convicted rapist. Okay? Like, that is... You'd get someone out of prison.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I'm sure you're right.
Like that...
Cosby.
But a Republican.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a really, like, some kind of, you know...
There's gotta be
society one. Republican. Yeah, sure. Fuck, and then just not even get started on the Russia shit. I mean, this is that is fantasy hilarious. That is too dark to even like go down.
And it's still going.
The insanity of this, like, we know we don't need subpoena power. Like, the entire liberal end of the media has like devoted more investigative power than the House ever could to figuring out what happened in that election.
Yeah.
And not much. Some bots and some fucking social media presence paid for by the Russians. Like, who gives a shit? Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. All right.
You're forgetting the icing on the cake, which is... Yes, we can.
The phrase, yes, we can, to end that paragraph.
Yes, we can. And that is so beautiful. Really, that is the cherry on top.
No, we didn't. Should be the refrain. Yeah.
Even though we'd like to.
Yes, we could have. When we controlled the government. Yes, we could have. That's the epitaph of the Obama administration.
Fuck,
yes,
for real.
We could have. Fucking idiots. Okay. There are 3 highly competitive U.S. House... hang on. I missed a part. Okay. In other words, want to grind the Trump administration to a fucking halt? Donate, volunteer, and vote.
Okay.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. It's like, do they know that toddlers are running government agencies? Like, there's no government. It's just chaos.
How are you going to grind them to a halt?
It's not going to do anything.
That's part of the problem. Not the only problem is that government is grinding to a halt under these people.
Right. Yeah. Like, intentionally.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, how could it be worse than a guy trying to get, like, a Carl's Jr. franchise for his wife using his governmental powers?
Yeah, what are you going to do about that? Somehow get a few actual, like, indictments in federal courts because you subpoenaed some shit because of some investigations? Unlikely. But okay, those courts, those federal prosecutors could be investigating that stuff on their own. So they're not, because that's not how politics and government work. It's the only thing congressional investigations are for are political theater. That's their function. It always has been.
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of political theater we need.
No.
It's not. No. Not that it's bad, but like, it's also largely failed over It hasn't. The congressional investigations haven't produced anything of value for decades. Because it is just bullshit theater. Mm-hmm. And again, what are you gonna grind to a halt? They're barely passing any laws. I mean, okay, we could prevent them from. Again, theoretically, I just said we for some reason.
I know.
Idiot Democrats could somehow refuse to nominate or refuse to confirm the next Supreme Court.
Right.
In the second Trump term, if they hold on to this shit.
Yeah.
again, they probably won't.
No, they never would dream of it.
They're too stupid and feckless and wimpy to do that. Mitch McConnell,
and they believe. They believe.
Because to them being
following the rules.
Not they think they'd be like, we're gonna be so big when we follow the rules and allow hearings and confirmation. Yeah. Unlike Mitch McConnell, we'll show him and he'll look so bad. That's how they think, man.
Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up for anything a Democratic legislature could do, because whatever it is, they will find a way to fuck it up.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, there are 3 highly competitive U.S. House races here in Washington State. We could flip the motherfucking House, people, and Democrats are poised to make gains in the Washington State legislature, too. Okay, slightly more meaningful, because, we have a Democratic governor and probably always will. I say that, but... So, all right, so what do they got to say here? Dems are on track to pick up 5 seats in the state Senate and 14 seats in the House, locking in wide majorities in both chambers. Then maybe state Dems could actually, really repeal the death penalty, pass a fucking capital gains tax, dedicate more money to education, institute a state-based single-payer healthcare system, and let us open some pot cafes.
Literally none of that will happen. Also, I thought the Supreme Court struck down the death penalty recently, so that doesn't even need to happen.
I don't know what the status of that is. That's a good question, but the thing is, if all that this blue wave is based on is opposition to Trump, then you're not going to have the mandate or the organization or the ideological consistency to really do anything important.
Yeah.
I don't know where some of these issues are with people. The thing is, like everywhere, half the quote Democrats are pretty fucking conservative.
Yeah.
So it's like, and in fact they go on down the column here to specifically some of these seats they're going to pick, they think they could pick up, are with these Democrats who are running in these red districts that are close, again, because of this blue wave and it's a turnout thing. But, and we'll see, we'll talk about some of these maybe.
Yeah.
These Democrats are pretty fucking conservative. They're running in these red districts, and so they're real, blue dog Democrats.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, those are going to be the people you can't get to come over.
Yeah.
On these issues, so it won't fucking matter. Or maybe another one of these fucking dicks will switch parties, because these, what it means to be a Democrat in America is very little. It means very fucking little.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the point.
Tell you what it means anymore.
And sometimes you really just end up being a Republican. So we've also got a handful of initiatives on the ballot addressing gun safety, bad cops. The bad cops one is important. Soda taxes, climate change, some juicy judicial races, some super sexy funding levies. So to crap open a fresh jewel pod. I can't read this snarky shit.
It's killing me.
Vote like your life depends on it. Vote like it's the last chance you'll ever have to vote, because it just might be. I can't read that. It's just too stupid. Okay. Oh, great. All right. Well, are we gonna do this? We can actually jump into the endorsements. All right. They endorse Maria Cantwell, and I could read it, but basically they spend the first whole paragraph talking about how not so great she is, which is going to be a real theme here if we read them all. If you go, please just go on your own and read them all. But because I'm not going to do it here. And I mean, that's a theme. It's these Democrats suck a dick, but
they're Democrats.
But that's what we have to do right now. And that's true, but and yes, we're stuck in this stranglehold, this two-party stranglehold, but if we had a political culture that rejected that, if a paper like The Stranger is in a pretty good position to be talking a different line all the time for the last, 20 years.
Right.
And that's the only way. Like, we're in this position of having to vote for Maria Cantwell because this is your only politics as a paper, right? Like, and the whole, this the whole liberal media and the liberal class in general, like, is just vote Democrats into office. That's the whole strategy. So when it comes to do that, that's what you have to do, is because there's no other political foundation, no other ideology that has been built and grown and stoked. Yeah. Then you end up with someone with Maria Cantwell. So anyway, she's hilariously, her opponent is Susan Hutchison, who is just like one of the great Washington Republicans. She just has a string of amazing hits that we don't need to go into, but
the Groat.
She rules. She fucking rules. It would be actually hilarious if she won, but she won't, so whatever. It doesn't matter. Representative District 1, Susan DelBene. DelBene is all about job creation and sane budgets.
Oh, fuck me. That's a Republican dog whistle.
Right? Like, this is fucking District 1. This is where we grew up, right? District 1, right?
I think so, yeah. Uh-huh.
First district?
I think that's right.
Yeah. Our favorite thing on this podcast, jobs! Yeah,
well, and accountability with budgeting.
And sane budgets. They just slip that in like that's sane, like that's like that's
that something we give a shit about.
That is the whole. Yeah, you can't. What, you're for insane budgets? No, but that language buys into decades of conservative horseshit about the economy and about the budgets and deficits and taxation and all this shit. And does it say, like, that's all they say. They say sane budgets. They don't say taxing the rich so our budgets make sense. No.
Well, they're job creators, so
right.
You can't really.
Oh, well, that is the great struggle. That is the
to them, it is. I think it truly is.
So I mean, that's all they can say. And then she's endorsed by some people, and unions, anti-gun groups. National Organization of Women, Sierra Club, and then they just say, if she's good enough for them, she's good enough for us. I mean, that just says it all, right? Like, that's all. You're just pitching in with the...
Well, it's merit, right?
It's also just like an inability, a reluctance as a newspaper, like,
to take a real stand,
to identify something specific, and not just pitch in with everybody else,
right?
District 7, right here in our beautiful, precious city of Seattle. Pramila Jayapal, not the worst congressperson. Oh, but they end her endorsement by saying, "Oh yeah, and she also sits on the Judiciary Committee, which, if Democrats win back the House, will have a massive role in investigating Trump for gestures at everything." Her opponent, Craig Keller, is an anti-immigrant doofus. Blah blah blah. Yeah, he sounds like a real piece of shit. But anyway, that's just fucking delusional. She's an okay Democrat. Like, there's plenty of shit we could throw at her, but like, she's not the worst. Okay, they do so. They've got what they call extra special blue wave endorsements that they're making outside their distribution area because there's these red districts that are like on the edge that could go. So they endorse in District 3 Carolyn Long and wait, hang on.
Well, how can they lead with this sentence? Is running to bring civility back to politics?
Well, they say and then they say, and that noise you heard is us choking on our own bile.
But that's bullshit. That's what their whole preamble to this was. Really?
I don't know. I think they're saying they want, like, revenge. I think their position essentially revanchist against
but
the
not
Trumpites.
Not the kind of revenge we're looking for. Like, you know what I mean?
Blood revenge.
Yeah, no, they want revenge within the confines of the system.
Well, I think the real point is like, okay, even again, what they're talking about here is swallowing like a bitter pill.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you put that pill in your mouth because this is all we have. Yeah. That's all there is. There's just this assumption that red districts are red districts. Those people are unwashed hicks and racists, and so there's no why try to start from the ground up and generate any kind of ideology. So when someone calling themselves a Democrat who isn't a complete monster but is probably pretty fucking lame and generally fairly conservative, then you're supposed to get excited about that and hope your suburban parents vote for them. I don't know. There's more of that.
So Kim Schreier is the one running against Dino.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, they make fun of her for having diabetes. She's got the beatus! ! Can you imagine putting that in this fucking endorsement?
These people are children. I mean, that's sort of the pot calling the kettle black, but
hey, come on.
I'm trying to skim through this to see where they say something good about her, but
no, they don't. They just talk about the district. Well, they say she's a pediatrician, and so she cares about children, and she's got the beatus, so she cares about pre-existing conditions.
I mean, that's some circumstantial shit. You know
absolutely.
What I mean? That's like that's all that, that's not an ideology, but anyway. Rossi tied for Washington State's most awesome Republican with Susan Hutchinson.
The Wagrote.
Oh god, the two of them fucking rule. So good. It would be really funny if Rossi went to Washington D.C. To represent our state. I don't think that's going to happen, but he's a huge piece of shit. Okay, this is some boring shit. Okay, I can't...
Well, okay, then maybe we should just skip to the good ones, which are ours, Legislative District number 36.
Yes!
And we can talk about Dubin for a minute, or...
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, Dubin.
So Dubin did not get the nod, which is a bummer.
Yeah. No, they failed to endorse our preferred candidate in the 36th, Matt Dubin. Which, we're butthurt about for sure. How do you think the revelations of Matt Dubin's secret families are going to affect his chances in this election?
I think it really hurt him. That's kind of the last I remember hearing even about him.
I'm impressed with his damage control of saying that someone on Twitter was using pictures of his family to create a false account with a false name. I mean, that was getting out ahead. Chicks. That's getting out ahead of the story.
Definitely.
But I think it's very clear from the evidence that he actually has multiple secret families and maintains separate identities related to those multiple lives that he lives, which is cool. I think that's very cool.
They do get a dig in on him. The last couple sentences are, her opponent is a libertarian who says he's a libertarian because he rejects us versus them politics. Haha, no.
Yeah, who's running against him?
Gail Tarleton.
Oh, Gail Tarleton, yeah, okay, the incumbent.
And she has a fucking dope resume.
Hell yeah! Yeah, Matt Dubin, we love you. We want you to go.
We want you to fail upwards.
Yeah, seriously.
Mr. Dubin goes to Washington.
Oh man. No, that's really too bad that they didn't endorse him.
Then he could filibuster like Billy Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, there is no them. All right, that's all I have to say about that.
Somebody had to say it. So the other good one, let me find it, is, there's a couple. So one, we haven't talked about this, I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but they're a no on the one that is forbidding tax on groceries, which is backed by big business, but I kind of feel like I might be a yes on that, honestly.
Well, what is it? Tell me about it.
It's just, So the way that it's written, it's talking about taxes on groceries, but it obviously means taxes on things like soda that aren't good for you, like we saw pass here in Seattle.
Is that so? The law would be to ban taxing.
They say groceries.
Yeah. The law does.
Yeah. So you can't.
And so you couldn't do these specific bans.
Right.
So. And what's So they're a no on it. Why?
They're a no because it's backed by the soda companies, which duh.
I don't know what else. I don't know if I have anything interesting to say about it, though.
Well, they're very hand-wavy about it, too. They say if they and while sales tax are regressive, poor people have an easy solution if they want to avoid the $1.75 per fluid ounce tax. Switch to diet, or drink a carbonated fruit beverage that rhymes with "my boy." Those drinks aren't taxed.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
you. Dude, that is like...
Yeah. That's some elite bullshit. Like, as somebody who
like,
doesn't...
We're telling you, dumb, poor fucks, how to live. Like, why don't you take our fucking advice? And exactly. If you don't, because the reason you're poor and fat is because you can't make these choices on your own. You're too fucking stupid or something.
Right.
Like...
Not because you don't make enough money to buy, like, food that's good for you. Or it's extremely
even
expensive.
To care.
Yeah, well, yeah, even to care as well.
To just... care about anything but getting through one day at a time.
That's where I'm at.
Let them have their smokes and their sodas, man. Mm-hmm. Like, but seriously, like, this. Oh God! Like, as if those kind of measures are gonna have any effect on people's health in America. Like,
they're
this little shit
is,
like this. It's horse shit, dude.
Yeah.
No, people are poor. That's a problem. That's why they're unhealthy. We don't have communities anymore. We've destroyed them all. That's why they're unhealthy. We don't have good health care.
No.
That's why they're unhealthy.
Yeah.
And we subsidize fucking corn syrup
and all kinds of other terrible shit for you.
And our government propagates like myths about fat and sugar.
Yeah.
It's all this other shit. Like.
Yeah.
But you want to go down to this very conservative idea that is also now the neoliberal idea that that the problem is cultural or something, right? That what you need to do is go in and manipulate these cultural choices, like get into people's choices.
Yeah.
And it's just that they're poor. That's all.
Yeah.
And America sucks. And
and soda tastes good, so fuck you.
Yeah. That too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's stupid. That really pisses me off.
I know, sorry. So this one I was calling an unforced error to you, Greg. This is the prosecuting attorney.
Oh, fuck.
For the county, King County.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I could not fucking believe this.
Yeah, this is kind of gobsmacking, honestly.
Like, all right, you get down here, you think, wow, this really sucks so far. But then you get down to the county, and they oh, fuck. They literally say up above somewhere, like, that we don't endorse in uncontested races.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, they have this pudgy, smug face of this fucking cop lawyer in the county section, named Dan Satterberg, who's a career fucking prosecutor. Mm-hmm. He's been the King County prosecutor for over 10 years.
Yeah, 11 years.
And they're endorsing him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Republican, except he left the GOP in May of this year. They point out. So he's some kind of like Dignity, Never Trump Republican or something. Or, I mean, that's what he's claiming. Yeah. But he clearly someone was actually challenging him.
With actual politics, too.
Yeah, like, and so he had to go like, oh, I'm not actually a Republican. Yeah. I meant to leave the party when Trump was elected. No, I'm not I'm a Democrat, actually. I felt like for the last number of years, this is what he said, I remember. Like,
right.
I felt the party drifting away from me. I felt the last several years like I really identify more as a Democrat. If you're on the fucking fence, if you're like, well, if it's like... If it's like a trip to fucking Baskin Robbins, like baseball nut or Tutti Frutti, I mean, like two scoops, one of each. Like, then you're what you actually, I mean, I could say you're just like a valueless, like vapid idiot. What actually you clearly are is an opportunistic whore.
Yeah, in this case, definitely.
No offense to sex workers out there.
Which Darren Morris was supporting.
Yeah, and Dan Satterberg has, locked up a lot of them.
Yeah.
He's a Republican and a career prosecutor. Before he was the prosecuting attorney, he worked in the office for years. That's what he's done his whole career. He's a fucking cop. They're all cops. Yep. Prosecutors are dog shit. Which fucking nuts is on the state level too. Even in blue places like Washington State, the Republicans have a fucking lock on these offices. Because like in a place like Seattle, it's like, even in Washington State, it's like you're like, well, I'm liberal on all these other issues, but but we really need someone tough on crime and making those decisions to like put away young black men for their life for pot possession. Like, we need someone who's really going to stand up to those prostitutes who are being oh fuck, man. And there was someone running against him, and who's still on the fucking ballot, as far as I understand.
No, he is.
Darren
Morris. Yeah.
Who is the exact person you want to be running in these races, and that is a career public defender. Mm-hmm. The only people actually qualified to receive my vote in an attorney election, in a prosecutor election. He was out there with that background, and he was campaigning a very like left line that was very, very like social justice oriented, restorative justice kind of. Is what I meant there. He dropped out, I guess, end of September. I was out. That was when I was like out in the wilderness. I didn't really follow what happened. I just knew he's gone. He's still on the ballot though. Yeah. And you didn't have to fucking endorse just because.
Either say nothing or actually endorse Darren.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? If it doesn't matter, if like because he stopped campaigning and has pulled out, he's not gonna win or whatever. That doesn't mean you couldn't endorse. Why would you endorse Dan Satterberg?
There's no reason.
This is so many other options here.
Yeah. Say nothing is one valid option.
They just say so. Satterberg, who left the GOP in May of this year, will have to do. He will end up having to do as our prosecuting attorney.
Yeah.
He did not have to be endorsed. He did not have to do for the SECB. Yeah. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. And at the time, Darren Morris, I believe, dropped out because of a health concern. So who knows? Like, maybe if he was endorsed by more folks, he could actually win. I don't know what his current condition is, but
it's sort of who knows? But that's really sad that he dropped out. I mean, he was running a good campaign. He was giving Satterberg a run for his fucking money.
Well, yeah, he turned him into a Democrat. Like,
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's
who else can say that?
Yeah, seriously. And what? Yeah, like, and maybe that'll even have an effect. I mean, I doubt it because this shit is impervious, man. Like, the culture. It's so there. These people are cops. Like, think of how impervious that culture is. Like, this is the same thing. Like, after everything. They're still the same.
Right.
The only way that anyone's changed that is by electing really like hard ass public defenders who are going to come in and do some shit, like in Pittsburgh.
Right. Krasner?
2 years ago, Larry Krasner. And that like just it wasn't enough that he had different politics and priorities and different experience, because it's shifting. If Dan Satterberg feeling a little political pressure in this election, it's not enough, because what Dan Satterberg had to do, he had to come in, get elected by a big margin as a public defender who was for restorative justice, and then he had to come in and shit can a bunch of the prosecutors in his first week or month or something to make change. Like, that was what it took.
Yeah.
Which fucking ruled.
Yeah,
watching them, like, walk out with their banker's boxes full of their desk, like, going like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
like, holy shit. Because he came in talking a big game and saying this is what's going to change, and like 10 of them or something were like, well, we're not cool with that, we're going to do it. And then he was like, okay, fuck off. And, like, that's how you change a government. That's how you...
Well, that's what
actually
what Trump
change
did.
Is,
I mean, in the opposite direction, but...
Yeah. I mean, you actually have to do it. You have to go all the way. You have to have principles and follow through on them. And, so, this doesn't matter. I just don't understand why they would endorse him.
It sucks. It sucks so bad. And the next one is the Supreme Court Justice position, which they endorsed Steve Gonzalez because duh. But I saw a tweet today that the guy running against him is a QAnon believer.
That fucking rules.
He thanked Q and like all American patriots or something at the end of his plea for their vote.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's really too bad that he's probably not going to be on our state Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's really cool
Nathan
we vote
Choi
for that.
Sounds awesome. But you did read me some of this earlier. Meanwhile, Justice Steve Gonzalez is a fucking prince who made us all blush with his handsome command of the justice system. Gonzalez could hold us in contempt at any time.
Wow.
But in all semi-seriousness, Gonzalez is in his 7th year on the Washington State Supreme Court after 10 years on the blah, blah, blah. He's the chair of blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Don't care. He speaks lots of languages. He's committed an increasing number of people. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. What is funny about that is with his handsome command of the justice system. And that's not... They go on to say some good things that he is for, but, like, the conception of our judges as just as technocrats, right? Like not even judges, just Supreme Court justices, as just someone who needs to know the justice system well and the law and have experience in that. When that's all that means is that you can use the law, you can use jurisprudence to fucking come up with anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what fucking matters. But all these people, all they can see is the process and, like, the rule of law. And these positions are essentially political.
Right.
And we knew that at one point in American history. This idea that only judges can be nominated to Supreme Courts is sort of stupid. It wasn't the case for a long time, but because these are political positions. They're essentially legislative offices.
Yeah.
They are a different small legislature that functions within the legal system. So honestly, it doesn't fucking matter what your command of the justice system is. What actually matters is your politics.
Right. How you're gonna decide.
Yeah. So whatever. Anyway, this has been really fun. Oh, okay. Having read all that, Colin, will you describe to me the beautiful artwork, the cartoon accompanying this?
Well, I don't know.
This dog shit.
You did it so much better, but so you said they're in the House chambers? Yeah, they're in the House chambers. And there's basically all the folks from Captain Planet. Do you remember every one of them?
Oh my god,
they've assembled
our power combined.
Exactly. And they are trying to summon the captain voting by holding up their voters' pamphlets.
Oh, their ballots. They've got their ballots. It's all these people holding up their ballots.
Yeah.
All these multiracial,
holding people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we've got a construction worker in here too, a hard hat.
Yeah. A gamer, maybe even.
Yeah.
Paul Ryan is hiding behind his desk because he's so afraid when Captain Voting comes.
But they're all gathered on the dais of the house.
Yeah.
So, first of all, they're all they can come up with. This is a cartoon by James Yamasaki, and this is their image. This sums it up pretty well. Like, all we have to do is vote and take control of this room.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what they've got their hands in the air. And this room they want to take control of, totally unironically, unlike the rest of this thing, there doesn't appear to be any irony in this. This is very, like, triumphal.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They've got one waving an American flag. They're standing in front of the large American flag behind the two seats at the top there.
And above them says, "In God we trust."
Above them, so we've got nationalism, check. In God we trust at the top, because they're just faithfully recreating the actual true dais the... But that's the joke, right? Like... is this process that they have so much faith in, these organs of government, that if we just get it right, if we just take control of that, just even by a little, like, then we'll be on the right path. But look what you're trying to take control of. Wait, this giant American flag.
Yeah. In
God we trust. We've got nationalism, religion, and even, just for good measure, you gotta love this, recreated totally unironically and somewhat maybe obliviously.
Probably.
Just recreating from a photograph very faithfully the fasces which flank the dais, which flank the flag in the house, the literal actual fascist symbol from which the movement gets its name. I'm familiar with the history of neoclassical symbolism in America. I realize that predates, as do these sculptures, the fascist movement in Italy. The point is, this unironic, like, it's that, like, this is all you're working toward.
Right.
You're not working toward... You're just vote and take control of that room. Voting... But look, you're taking control of something that is essentially corrupt and horrible.
Yeah.
So, in the end, you're going to have to do a fucking lot more than just take control of the house by voting. Like, it's going to take a lot. And you're not willing to do that. You're not even willing to talk about it here.
No.
So...
No. Very few people are.
That's why we are where we are.
It is, absolutely. It is. I just love that Paul Ryan would give a shit that people are voting also, since he's not seeking re-election.
He's not, he's fucking shit. He is about to be a fucking rich man. He is gonna scoot out of there and get himself, like, a cake-ass, like, consulting, lobbying gig for probably,
noodling.
Like, the...
Catfish noodling.
Probably the worst, like, companies and shitty dictators and whoever.
P90X.
Dude, but what? He'll be able to, like, pick and choose, man. They will shovel money up his ass. He's doing fine. He doesn't give a shit. He also, again, not the most important election of our lifetimes, you idiots.
Yeah.
He's gotten every fucking thing he wanted. He has dreamed his whole life. Like, he has had blue balls for the last 2 years, his whole life, and he just fucking came into that gaping hole.
Yeah, they're gonna have to clean that desk.
Dude, oh man. The tax cuts they passed. Literally, like, it's so complicated and amorphous, but, like, all the ways it will literally end America, but like, they just gave away. I mean, that's all it takes. Like, that's all he wanted.
Right.
Like, we don't tax the top 10% of Americans anymore, basically.
Which we should...
Or really corporations.
We should understand, because that is basically the only thing they've managed to pass in the legislature.
Yeah, but they did. And that's all that actually... At the end, that's the whole thing. That's right. In both just in pure democratic terms of power in our society, and then in the sort of social democratic terms of our pathetic welfare state.
Yeah.
Like, that's it, man. They already fucking won. They already did it.
Yep.
He's fucking happy. He's throwing a fucking party. He's not running again because he doesn't fucking need to.
Yeah, there's nothing else he
wants. What's he gonna do? He can't top this shit. All he can do now is go get rich and not pay any taxes on that shit.
Well, now that his tax liability has been greatly decreased, he can go start making that bank.
Like, what a trajectory. Like, this is like how to succeed in life.
Yeah.
Like, spend the first half of your adult life as a rabid ideologue until you finally quickly climbing the heights of power until you can wrest the entire nation to your will, at which point you can go start making the money you've put off making up until now. Well, not really, but to whatever degree, so that you won't have to pay taxes on it. It's great. It's a plan. He made it. He executed it, and he owns us. He owns us. God. They have him cowering behind the desk. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
He's not going to be there.
No.
And he doesn't give a shit.
Like you said, it just doesn't matter.
There's nothing you can do.
How could it possibly matter?
In order to... Even Obama didn't fucking repeal the Bush tax cuts. They literally sunsetted.
Yeah.
They could have been repealed.
Yeah.
They chose to continue them when they controlled everything.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. The work you would have to put in, and I advise putting in this work over the rest of our lifetimes,
however short that may be,
to actually reinstate progressive taxation in America, much less whatever else, is astounding. Is just the political groundwork that has to be done, building a movement from the fucking bottom.
Yeah.
And nobody really knows. I mean, that's the whole conversation on the left, like the left.
It is.
It's unions, organizing with a capital O but a question mark at the end. Nobody fucking even knows. What the fuck do? You can't just take over the house. You can't even even if we wrested control of the fucking government again. What are we going to run on? What are they going to run on?
Yeah.
Raising taxes? They should, but it's not going to work. That's a lot you have to do, and it's the work to make that happen is not just vote for Democrats.
No.
It's a worldview, an ideology, and a movement that has to be built. And they're not doing that. The Stranger's not doing that, and the Democrats aren't doing that.
No one in Seattle is doing that, to my knowledge.
So, what? So, they won, dude. What? Seriously, check out this grotesque cartoon, because it's fucking disgusting. Literally, these people chanting up and cheering in front of sachets and an American flag and thinking that's gonna make Paul Ryan cower.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it might be a depiction of the last scene from Hamilton 2 or something. If you know.
I didn't see Hamilton.
Well, I haven't seen Hamilton either. I'm just imagining, the Broadway review.
Yeah, right? It's triumphal. But it's they don't get that, all you do by believing in the process and nothing else is confirm what they've done, right?
Yeah.
You just go well...
Yeah.
The only way we can fight back against this stuff is through... just electing Democrats and voting. There's nothing else we can do.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is get in and wrest the same controls and power that they use to do these things, then, I mean, your politics, you don't have any politics that delegitimizes what they did in the first place.
No, you're absolutely right.
So please jizz into your ballot envelopes and
yeah, we vote by blood, right?
Yeah. Fill the bubbles in with some bodily fluid.
Just make sure you fill them in. That's
don't
all
use
we're
a postage
asking.
Stamp.
No postage in this state anymore.
Yeah, no, that's new in the last.
That's a positive
primary.
thing.
Yeah. I never put them on before, but because
not surprised to hear that.
Because it was always very clear. Like the postal service was always like, yeah, we'll deliver. We're not going to be the assholes who didn't like.
Well, not in this state. Maybe in a different state.
I don't know. No, but the postal service. No, because the postal service has always delivered them unstamped because they're not gonna like
have that on their conscience.
They're just like, no, I'm staying out of that shit. They're like, take, like, so they always did that. Knowing that, I've never put a stamp on a ballot because I just.
Well, now you don't have to.
Now, it almost takes the thrill out of it, though.
Well, now you should put a stamp on the ballot. Okay, or don't. I don't know, man. But yeah, y'all should probably vote, even though voting doesn't really matter in this state. But
anyway, have fun, everybody.
Try to stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe on election day. I don't know what to tell you. This has been not that fun. Probably. I'm sorry. Hopefully we can salvage this one. Hopefully we'll get some more people on next week. Get Alex back, maybe some other friends. I don't know.
Yeah, we do. I wasn't just making it up last time. We do have a guest that we're working with, scheduling a time. That is more. Very real.
Other people we're reaching out to have guests on the show. We're not that cool though,
no.
And we have. It's hard enough for us to schedule for ourselves.
Yeah.
So anyway,
thanks for listening. You can follow us on Twitter if you're not already, Seattle Sex Pod, and you can find us on iTunes and all those other podcast applications like Google Music and Google Podcasts. And you can find us at our website, which is seattle.sucks. And I think as we talked about last week, if you'd like to be a guest, we'd love to hear from you. I actually got inspired by Mr. Rigdon. He has a podcast, as we talked about, and he has a guest form. So I might whip up a guest form. Not that probably anyone will fill it out, but look for that soon. Then if you want to be a guest, you can just sort of apply and let us know.
Hey, that's cool. And if you want us to be elected to office on me and Colin, just nut a rope into your ballot envelope and use that to seal it. You don't know licking necessary.
Yeah, the county knows what to do with those.
And if enough of those come in, then they call us up and we have control of the House, the Jizz Party. We'll have control of the Washington State House of Representatives. I don't want to tell you what you have to do to get us elected to the Senate.
That might still be illegal. You can find that on the dark web.
All right, bye everybody.